Welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Axel and this is part 2 of the Magic Photobook tutorial. If you haven't seen video number 1, please go to the Academy section here to check out Magic Photobook part 1. This explains how we set up the master template itself. In the second part now we will talk more about the Photobook themes and the keyword menus and how this all belongs and work together. So again, if you haven't seen part 1, check this out first before you go ahead with this video tutorial here. In the first part, we set up that template here, my first Magic Photobook, with a cover document, and in a pages document we created our first Photobook theme, our universal theme. So if I press A to open the buyer view appearance settings, to go to the Photobook tab, you even can see it here that the universal theme is assigned, and this is done here. Here you can choose from all Photobook themes available on your system, and in addition to the theme selection, we assigned to all pages layout snippet so that the buyer is enabled to change the layout for each single page of the Photobook. To display these layout snippets at the buyer side sorted, we are using a so-called keyword menu, and this is a global one, so it's available for all of our clients. It comes directly from Printess, and that makes it hard to understand the concept because it's not visible on your account, because it comes from us. Same counts with the layout snippet tag. This is a Printess tag. And these tags, as you may know, are defined in the layout libraries. And for the universal Photobook theme, we have created 2 separate layout libraries, one for the covers, one for the inner pages. And if you go to the new section, you can open them to have a look how they are set up, how they are built. So if I open it again, that one here, for example, you go to new section, and if your Photobook license is activated, you find these layout libraries here, as well as some example Photobook masters. Okay, the one I had already opened is that one here, the Magic Book Universal Theme Basic. Let us open it again. And as soon as we open it from the new section, it is replacing the Printess Book Universal tag to Book Universal, so that you can save it and you can edit it, because all the layout snippets which are coming from us using the Printess prefix in the tag are not editable by you. And this is why it's automatically replaced here by a tag which is also working for you. Even though you can use these Printess tags and layout snippets like I did in my example. All these layout snippets here are using dedicated keywords, and they are very important to make the entire logic of a Magic Photobook work. So this one is a double page design, so it got the double page basic keyword, and the same counts for all the others here. And maybe we'll also find some single page layout. That one, for example, and we don't need the last page keyword anymore. That was an older concept. Single minus page minus basic would be the right keyword for single page layout snippet, or to be used on single pages. And in addition, we have a separate layout library, and this one is for the covers. So again, we have this cover basic keyword, and here we also got different ones. These layout snippets are complete designs, not just a text frame and an image frame. They are complete designs, and this is why they need to get the keyword cover design instead of cover basic, because this is how we later differentiate the content to be displayed at the buyer side based on their keywords. So what does it mean in practice? First of all, let's go to my Printess account, because here I can show you the keyword menus I have prepared. I said earlier that the Printess ones are global and not visible for you. This is why I have created my own ones. I've got Universal Photobook Cover for the covers. And as you can see, we have 2 main categories, theme layouts and basic layouts. And one is using the cover design keyword, and the other one is using the cover basic keyword. And you have to name these categories here and the topics exactly like it is shown here to support the mechanism of the Magic Photobook, displaying the right layout snippets at the buyer side. Okay, let's take a short break to talk about that concept in theory. I guess then it's clearer. Let's take a look at two graphics I have prepared for you. I have set up two different themes, a Berlin theme and a Paris theme. And on the first view, they look the same, but they are not. As I said, we are always using the same keyword menu in the master. We don't want to touch it because it should work for any kind of Magic Photobook. So the keyword menu is the same. We've got that theme layout category and the basics layout category. And now it is most important which layout library tags you are assigning here to the theme tags. In this case, I mixed the universal ones, which all got the basic in their keywords, with the Printess book travel one. And these are the nice, good looking, styled covers for different cities. They all got design in their keyword. They got that cover design keyword. So I have both here at the theme tags. And this will now display both categories here for the layout snippets at the buyer side. The theme layout category is displayed here as a tab, and the basic layout category is displayed here at the buyer side, because in the theme tags we have assigned both kinds of layout snippets, one with a basic keyword and other with a design keyword. And what now happens if you don't use layout snippets with the design keyword here is shown here on the next page. Paris, the Paris theme is set up in a different way. Here I don't have these covers assigned, and I will show you later. I have assigned the covers to choose the Paris cover for that one here at the search tags, but not at the theme tag. So what happens now? The Printess mechanism sees that there are no layout snippets available with a cover design keyword. And because of the fact that this category is now empty, it's not displayed at all at the buyer side. So if I load the Paris theme, it will just show the basic covers. And this is a mechanism you have to understand. And this is also why these keywords are that important. Because they are not just used, here these snippets, to create the AI generated and the freestyle photo book. They are also influencing the look like at the buyer side, what is available for the buyer to choose from. So let's go back to our template here so that I can show you how this works in practice. As I said earlier, I have assigned the universal theme. In addition, I have prepared 4 others. We do have Paris here, for example. And how did I set it up? I selected the tag of all the basic layout snippets from these 2 libraries I have shown to you before. So they are all displayed here. And in addition, I added the search tag. This is free. You can use any layout tag here to assign it to pick the one you need. And this is the next level, by the way. So from a universal theme, we now work with a universal theme plus a dedicated cover. So I just drag and dropped the Paris cover here to name it Paris and to save it. In addition, I also assigned a background, a dedicated one. So I use the Printess backgrounds tag, and somewhere here you find the one I have assigned. But more important is the theme tag. Again, it only includes basic layout snippets. And in difference to that one, I have set up Berlin, and it is similar but not the same. Because in this case, I assigned these cover layout snippets here to the theme tag, not separately at the search tag. And this now makes a difference because of the keyword menu mechanism. So let's give it a try. If I press A again to go to the Photobook tab, I will now change to Paris to save it. And if we now go to the buyer side to create an empty book, I have that Paris cover here, but at the layouts tab, I do not find layouts of any other city, because if we go back here to Paris, they are not assigned here at the theme tag. They are assigned separately. Okay, and if we now press A again to change to Berlin, we see a different result at the layout snippet selection here at the buyer side. Now I do have an additional tab here called Theme Layouts, and because of the fact that they are assigned here at the Themes tag, they will be displayed at the buyer side, but this is only half of the story, because the other half is they are using the keyword cover design. And this is why our master template is really a master, because depending on the Photobook theme you are adding later while you're loading the Printess template. Yeah, this setting here is only for testing. This selection is just for you while you're setting up new templates and trying out new Photobook themes for new products in your shop environment. So in the moment where your shop is loading the Printess editor with your Photobook master, you also add the Photobook theme it should load through an attach parameter. And this is how we can ensure that really one Photobook master is enough for all of your Photobooks. And the same counts for the inner pages. You see a similar structure here. For that keyword menu, we can have a look as well for that keyword menu. This is the one for the covers. I did another one, and again it's a one-by-one copy from these Printess ones. And as I said, you don't have them on the system. If you need them, just drop us a mail at support@printess.com that you would like to have these keyword menus on your system. Then we will copy it over to you. Not a big deal. So don't hesitate to ask us for help. Okay, so far we have covered the universal theme. The next step is a universal theme with a dedicated cover. And there's a third option, there's a third kind of Photobook theme. We call it a specific theme, and this is when it's related to a special occasion like newborn, let's say. In this case, you may would like to use dedicated designs for each single page. So you won't work with a universal theme, but with a specific one. We've got that baby theme, this one for example. And before I go ahead here, I will show the layout library to you. So if you go to the new section again, you also find the MagicBook baby theme layout library here. And it follows the same rule. These are all keywords ending with design. We have double pages, we have single pages, we have a cover using these three different keywords. And we've got keyword number 4, which is background design for the backgrounds. So different here is that all components you need to create a theme are here in one layout library: single pages, double pages, cover, and background. And in general, any layout for a layout library is one single document, one page document, but not with the backgrounds. Here you can add as many pages as you like with different variants of your background, and then they automatically add it to the Photobook pages in circulation. There are two important things about these backgrounds. Number one is that the color of these pages are here is coming from the paper color of the document, because they should be transparent, not using any background color, because the real color comes here from the background. And if you set up such a background, it doesn't matter if it's one single page or many different pages, you have to make sure that the background color shape is set to dock to bleed, so that it expands depending on the size and orientation of the Photobook. It always expands into the bleed, covering the entire background. And you have to put these elements onto a separate layer. So if you do backgrounds for the Magic Photobook for a specific theme, you put them on a separate layer called background. And here you find all these components used for the design. Okay, and I'm now taking this layout library to add it to my newborn Photobook theme. And similar story, I take the cover here. I will use that one for the first page, that one for the last page, and in between I will place these double page layouts here. And as you see, I've got not so many variants. So if the photobook got more than 28 pages, which is maybe most of the time the case, the AI generated photobook would use the same layouts for the double pages again and again. As you know from the first video, this double page setup here is just for the freestyle book. With the AI generated, it will automatically randomly use these layout variants, these different layout snippets. But as I said, we are very limited here now. If I do now a photobook of 50 pages or even more, the buyer will realize that we use the same layouts again and again and again. And this is why even here you can add the universal ones, because now the AI generated photobook is automatically mixing up your tailor-made designs here with the ones from the universal. Of course, they will all have a background then, which will be automatically added from the layout library I have shown before. And another good reason to use these universal layouts is that most of them are using splitters. So depending on the number of photos placed on each double page, the system can automatically cut a single image frame into pieces to make it 4 or even more images within one photo frame. Because if we have a look, for example, onto that layout snippet, here we do have just 2 frames and they are both not set to splitter, so they can't be splitted automatically. This double page will always include just 2 images, and some do have a splitter, like this one here, but even though you are limited, and this is why it's always good to mix these universal layout snippets in addition to your layout snippets of your specific theme. Okay, we need a background as well. And here I don't want to use a Printess background. I will search here, even that it's already displayed. You can filter here for background design to make sure that this is or these are the backgrounds coming from your layout library for your specific theme. You have to select it here once so that it's displayed here. And now we have set up a new theme called Newborn. And if we now go back here to our master template to press A to look for Newborn, it's not displayed again. Remember, we have to reload the editor. We have to open our template again. And now Newborn should be available. Here we go. And if we go to the buyer side, we automatically have, even that we use the same master, we automatically have these specific layout snippets available, because remember, they got the keyword design, and as soon as this is the case, Printess will display the theme layout tab here, and at the theme tabs we will have all themes available on the account displayed, because I forgot to define that this one should hide the theme selection at the buyer side. Let's do it one last time. Close it, reload it. And now the theme selection tab had disappeared. How this theme selection works in detail will be explained in another video. This will be then Magic Photobook Part 3. That's it for now. I hope that video gives you a better understanding how keyword menus are working in conjunction with the keywords of your layout snippets and the theme setup. There are even more settings and more photobook versions to talk about, and this is why additional videos will follow soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.